Hello and welcome to Amy's Opinions. Today we're going to be talking about family and what family means to us. With me, I have my husband, Lauren, my daughter, Maggie, and a son slash friend of the family, Oscar. So I want to start off a little bit because, Maggie likes to say back in our day.
Yeah,
what
back
family,
in
back in our day, what family looked like to me. So before my husband joined the military, when I was growing up, I had two parents. I had my sisters. That was it. That was my family. Every now and then you saw people who came from divorced families and they had step siblings and all that other stuff. Really didn't pay too much attention to that. It was still family. But as I've grown up, not just wider, but up, I have discovered that family comes in different forms. Like when you're a teenager or when you're in school, your close friends are your family. And if you're lucky, those close friends become the family not only to your children, but to you. And that's how we got Oscar. And then when we joined the military, we made military friends. When we went to work, we had work family. You always hear about my work family, because a lot of times you spend the majority of your adult life with your work family. And so I just want to go and just kind of bounce around what family looks like to you. Oscar, since you're first time on the show, do you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, I'll start. I think family is definitely people you share bonds with and have just a natural connection with. Like, I grew up with a very big family. I was basically related half to my hometown. And then in middle school, met you guys, joined your guys' family, and had a very strong, deep connection with you guys and grew up with you guys,
Well, let me expand on that. So,
and have a strong connection with Tiberius, our dog.
So Oscar, we had just moved to this town. The military just moved us. It was getting towards the end of the year. We're at an end of year band concert for my son. Or was it the beginning of the year? I just know it was a band concert.
I just know I was young and I heard about a new kid in our family named Oscar.
Right. And so...
Yeah, it was the end of the year, because remember I was inviting you guys to my birthday party?
That's right. Anyways, I'm sitting there, by myself, minding my own business. And here comes this kid, and he sits down to me. He goes, "Hi, I'm Oscar. I'm Lewis's friend. Lewis doesn't talk very much, but don't worry, we're going to get him settled. I'm going to make sure he has plenty of friends, even though he doesn't talk. Do you know Lewis doesn't talk very much? Hey, I'm having a birthday party. Do you guys want to come?" This is how we met Oscar. Fast forward, Oscar was just friends, and he and Lewis were hanging out more, and, they're developing their friendship. As a nurse and as my husband was a soldier, we don't always celebrate our holidays on the actual holiday. So we were having our Thanksgiving, and we asked Oscar over for the very first Thanksgiving. Now, Maggie was going through an atheist phase, and we go around
going through that phase.
And we go around.
She was questioning, which is fine. It's good that she questions.
But we went around the table, and that Thanksgiving, I discovered an insulated cup that keeps your wine cold. So I probably had a bottle and a half of wine by then. We sat down. But one of our traditions is you go around the table and you say what you're thankful for. And Oscar is very nice. He said, "I'm thankful that you guys are letting me be here." Lewis said, "Oh, I'm grateful for my friends, that sort of thing." Alicia, blah, 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 blah. We get to Maggie, and Maggie's like, "I'm thankful for the Big Bang." And without missing a beat, I said, "Well, I'm glad you're thankful your parents had at least 3 Big Bangs because we have you 3. When Oscar didn't go running from our house, but instead introduced his parents to us, and we started celebrating things together, that's when Oscar really, truly became family. Wouldn't you say that, Oscar?
Absolutely. I think that Thanksgiving was really, really eye-opening, how welcomed I was to the house.
But, that's one of the ways you create family and you create memories. It's not always with holidays. You've gone on several of our family vacations with us. Lewis has gone with you. We've been there for all of our big moments together, like your graduation, Lewis's graduation. There's several things. When Maggie graduated, you came out for that.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're at college and you couldn't come for Alicia's. No worries. Alicia couldn't come tonight because she has something going on. Lewis has something going on. So it's just the 4 of us. And that's fine because that's family.
Yep, absolutely.
Lawrence, what do you see as family?
family can be anybody or any really that you share deep bonds with. Obviously, I had you and our kids and even Oscar, but there's plenty of times when I was somewhere where my family couldn't go for extended periods of time. And even in that instance, you build strong bonds with the people around you. That's obviously not the same type of relationship you have with the people that you're married to or that are actually your children, but you look out for each other the same. You help each other the same, and you make sure that you can make each other's lives better any way that you can, because you're all in a situation where by yourself you'd really be miserable, but together it makes things tolerable.
I agree. For instance, one of my best friends, I'm not going to name her by name. She knows who she is if she watches this. We call each other our deployment spouses. Because when California, our husbands deployed together. When we moved here, our husbands were both gone at the same time. While our husbands were gone, and I just moved to this new area, we kind of followed her here. She was in a car wreck. So we took her to the hospital, and she kept telling everyone I was her deployment spouse. Well, people honestly thought we were fooling around with each other, because instead of looking at it as, hey, we're military, that's what we say, they asked me several times, is your husband aware you're cheating on him with another woman? I'm like, no, that's not what it is. She's like a sister. We're best friends. We support each other, and we help support each other's families when our husbands are gone. That's what it means to be a deployment spouse. It doesn't mean that we're cheating on each other or with each other on our, and cheating on our husbands. That's absolutely not what it means. But again, we're good friends, and she got a hoot out of it, and she was telling everyone. I had to tell her, hey, stop, you're giving me a reputation now, just stop. But she is someone that I would go to the mat for, just like I would go to the mat for any of my sisters. And in fact, I think I'm probably, and I hate to say it to my sisters, because we've grown up and being in the military, we've been away from family, that we grew up with for so much. I would almost say I'm a little bit closer to her as a friend, as a sister, than I would be my older sisters who I talk to every now and then on holidays or through Facebook or things like that, just because I know her more as an adult than I knew my sisters as adults. Does that make sense? Maggie, what do you see as family?
Good question.
Thank you for showing us your nose.
Glad you were paying attention and thinking of your answer to move this along instead of stalling while you look at the ceiling and
You
count
guys
the holes.
took all my answers.
I'm very
guys
glad
took
you blew
my
your nose today and you're not having anything hanging out.
All right, it doesn't matter if we took your answers. Just tell us what it means to you.
And your word.
My words. Family or the people that you surround yourself with, it's not necessarily blood relations, because, families look different depending on the person. Definitely grew up with a small family circle. Like, we didn't really see extended family as much as people who grow up around their extended family would, just because of where we lived and how far away they were. So, I'm closer to my friends than I am my cousins. I don't really know my cousins that well, just because, didn't grow up around them. But I'm also closer to my immediate family than I probably would have been if we grew up around extended family more.
Maybe.
Because at the end of the day, growing up, I only really had my immediate family because we lived so far away from our extended family.
Now, I will say this, back in my day,
Yeah, back in your day.
We had, I have 4 sisters, and we had cousins that we would go to, and we'd meet up, on the summers and stuff, and meet at grandma's houses, and we'd play in pranks and have all kinds of fun. I hardly talk to my cousins now. Part of that's because we moved so far away from our family. We created our own little family. Right now, Oscar's on the opposite coast, but we still stay in contact.
Mm-hmm.
I think family is what you put into it. I think you can be blood related to people, and what about Lizzie Borden? Do you think her parents consider her family when she hacked everyone up to pieces?
Hey, it was never proven it was her.
And by the way,
pointed towards her.
I will always be terrified when you were going through 15 years old and having your little rages of dad making you a target and giving you throwing axes and watching you come back inside. I'm just saying that's a terrifying sight for any parent to have a teenage girl carrying in 2 axes after she's been target practicing when she's going through her teenage rage. But
did I use my family as targets? No, because that's wrong.
I'm just glad you didn't have any pictures up on that board.
I was going to say exactly that. Where's the pictures? Did you make them with pictures?
No, that would have taken too much time.
Yep.
So I would have had to print them out.
What about the families you create? Now, Oscar, you're working, and I'm very proud because you graduated college. You have a good career going on right now. Do you spend more time with your work family than you do with your biological family?
Yes, I really do. Actually, since I started working, I spend more holidays with them. I work with the holidays, and sometimes we just work, and it gets really exhausting. I do make an effort to go down to make the 2-hour drive to go see them at least once a month and just stay the night, leave in the morning. And I do call, FaceTime. I make sure to call my mom every week, and they are my work family, and some of them we actually hang out on weekends. On Saturday mornings, we go out to get pajaretes, which is fresh goat milk, and they have tacos there. So that's like nice morning, Saturday morning. We go out, have tacos together, just talk, and I met some of their families. And it's just, it's a really good community, very, very close, very work family. And I do really believe you could have a family member you're not related to, because look at us across the damn country on this cool podcast talking about family.
Well, look at your parents when we all met up for your graduation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like we hadn't even missed a day seeing them.
Yeah, it felt exactly like that.
Like when your family would come over for Halloween and we'd do the haunted yard, and your dad would have to hold your mom and I back because we were drinking our wine and that one woman was going to beat up Lewis because he scared her. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Or
I
what
was
about
falling asleep on the chair.
And what about Lewis with your family? Would you say Lewis is part of your family and your parents' family?
Definitely with my parents, yeah. But Lewis hasn't hung out with my siblings as much. My siblings are older, so there's that little age gap between everyone. But definitely I would consider Lewis as part of my family as well.
Well, thank goodness for your dad, because I couldn't get Lewis started to drive on a stick shift, and Lawrence was deployed when Lewis was learning how to drive. And all it took was your dad to just gently nudge him with the car, and Lewis figured it out.
Yeah, when he picked me up, got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Lewis is on a car.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
Lewis
by his own
deserved
car.
it.
Probably.
I think
mean,
that really taught Lewis a good lesson how to drive the car better.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. Dad deployed when all of us learned how to drive.
Well, family doesn't just mean being there during the bad times.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it means missing out on all the bad times and enjoying the good times, though.
But on the other hand, family does mean being there when you are going through bad times and supporting each other. You can't always have good times with family. There are bad times. Like, for instance, when Grandpa died. You guys were there for me. Lewis flew across country for me. Oscar sent me messages. I heard from his parents. When we had our car accident, who offered to wipe my butt?
Well, yeah, it would have been awkward for Lewis too. And
That's
figured
love,
we're
Maggie. That's definitely love right there. But what I'm saying is, when Grandma came out to help take care of us to give you a break because you were getting ready to go off to college. So family supports each other during bad times and good times. And I know as a nurse, there's definitely been bad times that my work family has supported me through. When you're dealing with life and death situations as a soldier, when you're away from family and dealing with stuff, there's times when the family that your dad's made over in his career, his work family supported him through. And that's what makes people family, is the support that you give to each other in good times and bad times, the love and respect that you give to each other. That's, in my opinion, what makes family.
Yes, but I wouldn't recommend raising children with work families. It's generally a bad idea.
So we all agree on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely boundaries within families. There's always boundaries in every relationship. especially in families.
Oscar, I haven't seen very many family boundaries with you.
No, there definitely is. There definitely is. Well,
Every family
yeah,
has their own boundaries.
their own. Yep, they have their own special boundaries.
Okay, so you two are backing each other up, just like when Maggie sold the vacuum cleaner for $5.
Okay.
She was wheeling
I
and
didn't
dealing.
say-
She just went the wrong way.
That's what happens when you have an unsupervised, unpaid employee.
So you're
Isn't that
blaming
what's
her
11?
father.
I was
I'm blaming
11.
management.
Not know what you guys were selling the vacuum for. So, out of defense, I was 11 and had no idea how much the vacuum was going for.
So for people who are listening to us talk, this is how my family talks. We give each other grief. We tease each other. We talk about funny stories. But at the end of the day, we all love and respect each other. And that's a big part of family. You have people who are blood related who don't necessarily love and respect you. We see that all the time. You see it in the news. You see it, all the horror stories. Can you make family that if you're in a situation where you don't have that love and respect, do you think you can make a family of your own with your friends or with someone else?
Absolutely can.
Yeah.
Okay. Then where do you get that guidance on how to be a family member?
I don't
don't-
think there's a set guide.
Yeah.
It's more.
It's more
you
what
could
you
go.
make of it. It's definitely more what you make of it. It's not exactly you have to do X, Y, and Z. It's just because no one really teaches you how to be a family. You kind of learn as you go.
So you're saying you didn't learn from your parents what family looked like?
No, I said I learned as I went.
Oscar, did you learn from your parents what family looked like to you?
Yeah, they taught me some good ethics. They gave me a lot of support, a lot of structure. And I learned from other people how they are with their families, because my family is very different from your family. And it's more of, how can I put this in words? It's more of how can you support each other, meeting each other's needs while respecting each other's boundaries. It's
Okay.
definitely a two-way road that a lot of people just need to talk about.
So people should have their own thoughts and feelings on families and be able to mesh them together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like everyone
'Cause-
should have an opinion.
Yep, because, every relationship is different. Like, some people have more needs than others, and that's just how they are naturally. And just talk about it, because the worst thing that comes to worst is that you're getting neglected, and that's not fun for anyone.
Now, I will say this. When we got married, Lawrence, we chose to pattern some of our family's dynamics off of what we liked in growing up and what we didn't like growing up. But then we had a daughter who went through the terrible twos that we didn't know how to handle. At one point, we were chasing around with a squirt bottle trying to get her tantrums under control.
That's
And
a
when-
bad cat.
It worked, though. It really did.
Yes.
But
definitely
when we felt like it was to the point where either we were going to become abusive because she was so out of control as a 2-year-old, and she was a 2-year-old that people write books about, we went and sought counseling to come up with ideas on how to be better parents and how to deal with her. Would you recommend that for people who are having issues with raising children or being anxious when they don't know what to do? Lawrence?
Well, yeah, obviously I'd recommend it just because of the results we got with our own children. And I greatly feel that it helped her manage her emotions, but it also helped us effectively raise her and help her along the way as well so that she can be a productive member of society at the end of it. But the most important thing there is to find somebody that you trust, because there is a lot of trust involved in it, but also somebody who can have a good relationship with you and your child. Without that relationship, it doesn't matter how smart they are, the therapy really won't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Maggie
Because-
benefited from that because we did things a little bit
I put
differently with
myself
her
down
than
for
we did.
naps.
That,
You
yeah,
told me, was I supposed to be throwing a tantrum? I said no and went and took a nap.
It worked pretty good.
So
yeah,
that's
I
just-
knew I would have to take a nap anyway.
So what I'm saying is you don't always know how to be a member of a family. Like Oscar says, there has to be a lot of communication, but when you have a young child who can't communicate, or you're hitting a wall because you're so frustrated, sometimes you have to go get help. And there's nothing wrong with going and getting help because, if you have a child, whether they're biologically yours, adopted into your family through a friend, or adopted or fostered,
You don't want to
that
turn
child's
8
needs should become a priority as an adult. You should make that child feel safe and secure any way you can.
You do have to balance that, though, because you don't want to focus on one child and forget the others. So there is a balance to it, and you have to give the extra attention where needed while not neglecting the other children you have.
Right. But, you need to make all your children feel safe and secure is what I'm coming at.
Sure, absolutely.
So now we have children being raised by two parents, two dads, two moms, single parents. Do you think that changes the family dynamics? Because in my opinion, it doesn't. All I think family needs to be is a place where people are loved and supported. I think bottom line, that's what family is. Oscar?
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think there should be a book definition of what a family is. There's people in a situation where they really have no one, but they still find that love and support through a person, or maybe an animal. Maybe it's a dog or something, and it's still that love and support, and it's still a family. And it's not who is giving it to you or what they are to you. It's the fact that they're giving it to you unconditionally.
Okay.
Like my corgi, what Mikey gives unconditional love and unconditional attitude.
Just like his owner.
Hey, I don't huff and jump off the bed if you move when you're trying to sleep.
No,
He
but
does.
you huff and storm out of the room sometimes.
Yeah, but he huffs and storms out the room, so.
No, I agree. I think animals can be family members. I think especially
Like the
animals that are in the
chickens?
house. No, chickens are not family members. No.
They benefit the household with their eggs.
I'm
That's
not,
support.
Oscar, I'm not eating my
We
chickens,
benefit
period.
them by feeding them.
Chickens
Guys.
taste great.
I'm not eating Mother Clucker.
Why, you could have beer can chicken.
Ooh, that
No,
actually sounds...
Sherry gets on the
Ooh.
barbecue grill and lays eggs. No.
He's telling you something.
Okay, guys. As much as I value your opinions where you think chickens may be part of the family, in my opinion, no.
To each their own.
We all know we're right.
Look, my parents had friends, and this couple raised chickens in their house because they didn't want children. They had chickens instead. Maybe that's why I'm so biased. I don't know. Their house always was something different, but they had chickens living in their house instead of outside where they belong.
People have pigs living in their house instead of outside. Now the newest thing is cows.
One time a chicken got in the house. I wasn't there for it.
Yeah, I
We
don't
always
think
thought
I
it was
was either.
Mikey.
I kind of wish I was. That'd have been hilarious.
I love
That
you
went
guys.
great.
Look how supportive my family is to me. Listening to my phobia. Animals used to live. People used to farm, and they used to. When it got cold out, they brought the animals into the house. That used to be way back how people did that, and there's certain cultures that will still do that. But for me, I have a hard time saying a fish is part of my family. I have a hard time saying a chicken is part of my family. Anything that can be eaten, I have a hard time saying that's part of the family.
Well, we're not going to eat our fish. They're too small and gross.
I agree. If you can eat it, it's not family, and
So
you
you're
shouldn't.
saying chickens aren't family?
I never said they were. That was your daughter and Oscar, your son.
No, I said that they were a part of the household.
That's different.
Being part of the household is not necessarily being part of the family.
Yeah. So you agree that the chickens are part of the household, Mom?
No, they're outside. And Dad's building them We're getting off topic. We're on topic of family, Maggie. Let's leave the birds alone. You know how I am about birds. I'm terrified of birds.
The birds and the bees.
Look, are we locked in a car where I have to give you guys that talk? I don't think I ever gave you that talk.
I
No,
don't need
you
it.
didn't.
I'm good.
That's
I'm
something
grown
that I
enough.
left. Yeah, that's something that was not
I'm grown
appropriate
enough.
for you to hear from me.
I'm grown
Yeah,
enough.
I would say out of all of our dogs, I think Pepper and Ty are the most beneficial in terms of protection. Mikey's the most beneficial in terms of attitude, and George, he's just George.
Okay, but we're talking families, not dogs.
And he said that they're part of the family.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap this up because we are getting way off topic now on our opinions. We've gone from families to chickens to animals to dogs to all kinds of things. So, Oscar, summarize family and what family means to you.
Family to me is people that give mutual support, connection, and love just unconditionally. You just have that deep bond, and it's someone you could trust and you could rely on. Like, no matter how long it's been, they're there for you.
Fair enough. Magpie?
Yeah, I would say family isn't just your blood relations. They're also people that you choose to have in your family. And they're the people that you can love and trust with a lot. I also think that your pets, like your dogs and cats, are part of the family, regardless of which one's your favorite, because let's be honest, everyone has a favorite. What? You say George is your favorite dog, so...
Okay, as long as we're not talking children.
Yeah, we all know who's your favorite. Whoever gets you the cup that says that they're your favorite.
All right, Lawrence, what are your thoughts on family?
Family's whatever it is that forms a cohesive bond between people and allows them to grow. And really the point of family is reproduction and growing and kind of perpetuating the species, but it doesn't have to be that.
Okay. So, because this is Amy's opinions, we're going to end on my opinion because, it's my show, so mine's best. Anyways, for me, family is what you make of it. Whether you're married, whether you are and raise a family that way, whether you bring friends into your family fold, like we did with Oscar and his family, because I consider his parents part of our family as well. Whether it's your work family and the support that they give you there. For me, family is a group of people who love, respect, and support each other. Period. You can have disagreements, and it's okay to disagree, but at the end of the day, you're going to have each other's back. Regardless of, being on one coast or another coast, joining a podcast from school or from, a whole another time zone, or when you really don't want to be there, but you're supporting your wife. That's family. And I think everyone needs family. We're humans. We need that connection. Whether you have it with your animals, whether you have it, you're isolated, but you can reach out to someone. I think family is an important part of society. And I think once we start remembering that and we start having fun with our families again and building those relationships, I think that's one of the most important things we can do. So to me, that's what family is.
Yep.
All right. So now we're going to get done with this and say thank you, everyone, for coming. Oscar, thank you for getting off work and hopping on.
Thank you so much for having me. It was quite the pleasure.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Maggie, be good at school. I love you. Miss you.
Miss you too. And what's that, Pepper? Or Ty?
Pepper.
And then Lawrence, let's go get dinner. Everyone have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Good night.